Who would you call if you caught Bigfoot? Before I call anyone, I take out my 144p shit quality camera and take a blurry photo. I think that's the problem with Bigfoot. It's that he is blurry. That makes him even scarier. We have a large, out-of-focus monster roaming the countryside. Mitch Hedberg paraphrased, "Love that guy lol. But wait until he walks behind a tree." Turns out Bigfoot himself doesn't scale above 144p. I knew I saved the digital camera from 1996 for a reason. Quote, ROE. Get a video with your toaster first. I would take a video and upload it to YouTube and title it GTA San Andreas Bigfoot Confirmed 2020. Quote, put an unregistered Hypercam 2 watermark, and bring out the old 009 sound system. Dreamscape.mp3 files. This man has Bigfoot on his backyard and he's got into Reddit to know what to do. My thoughts exactly. This man is Bigfoot and he's clearly fixing to dodge the dog catcher and the FBI. Dude, get on the phone to Netflix. You see how well the Tiger King show did. Just get yourself a couple of straight husbands and an evil nemesis and you're good to go. If you have Bigfoot in your backyard, better call Saul. Not a single soul. This mofo has it made in the woods. He's probably going to me, my friend. Defo make friends. He would be awesome for winning cosplay competitions. You could do a great Wampa Hapu combo. Plus, if you did call someone, you would probably ruin Bigfoot's life forever. Yeah, don't snitch on Bigfoot. He's just out there living his life. He doesn't need that drama. Exactly. Let the dude be. He is out there for a reason. To get away from this fucked up society. Hell yeah, let's burn the city. No wonder he keeps running. Lol. Yeah, no way I'm ratting out Bigfoot. He deserves his freedom. Thor's wrench lesson. I was at a beach in the Outer Banks of North Carolina once and found substantial evidence of the existence of Bigfoot. In fact, the area was overwhelmed with Bigfoot tracks in the sand. The amazing thing is, this whole community of these beasts are all juveniles, so most of the footprints were comparable to human tracks, roughly size 6 to 12. There is a TV show about this smiley face. If I actually caught Bigfoot, like others have said in the post, calling 911, animal control, or like any kind of government agency is likely to result in Bigfoot getting shot. My first thought instead would be to Google the zoology department at the closest major university and see who would be willing to come into the field to potentially identify a new species. I would probably not mention Bigfoot, because there is zero chance they would take you seriously after that. But I figure, an academic who does field work is probably most likely to have the connections to handle the situation without fucking it up. Excellent advice. Question answered seriously and focused on keeping the creature alive. DLCN. Also good advice not to say Bigfoot, because you are right, they would blow it off. This is exactly what I was thinking too. I would also try to document it as best as I could before they got there, just in case they try to disappear with it. Calling a few different people should also help ensure they keep things legit, as they would likely have to come to an agreement and be more democratic than just giving one person exclusive access. Specifically, you should call a primatologist and say you think you captured a loose ape. Calling 911, animal control, or like any kind of government agency is likely to result in Bigfoot getting shot. Tell Bigfoot is a black man. An anthropology department would also be good to contact. If Bigfoot exists, it would likely be an offshoot from one of the ancient human species. So biological and evolutionary anthropologists would be better able to figure out where it fits in relation to us. You could tell them, I think it's a bear, so they bring appropriate equipment. My friend Zach. What about Dave? No, you're thinking of the Sasquatch. Totally different scenario. Yo Zach, I just caught #KIN Bigfoot. Zach, you really? Wait, nah, this is just Mom. S0. Is he a Lego maniac? TD call his family to inform them that he hasn't been buying milk all these years. Hit up Rubon, bro. I'd call your friend Zach too. Hashtag big fuck found the pizza store so I could give him some pizza cause he probably never had it before and nobody should have to endure that. 737, 11. Call pizza. Hey. And for the first time in Sasquatch's life, he experienced diarrhea. Bigfoot's mom, I guess. Nice answer, but dad is much preferable. Or his stepsister. How about his sister? Sounds like a retelling of Beowulf. My therapist. I'm listening. Bigfoot, I wanna see where he keeps his cell phone. No you don't. The old prison wallet. I have no idea. Like would I call the police? The zoo? If I did, would they hurt him? I guess I might. Call my uncle first so he could see and then go from there. I'd call his uncle too. Why? Do you want Bigfoot to die? Yeah, don't call the police cause our large-footed friend will end up shot. Would I call the police? If I did, would they hurt him? This is a silly question to ask right now. No, the police automatically shoot anything that moves in ISNT white. Marshall Erickson. He's my go-to for when I find the Loch Ness. Marshall is now bald and aging. This was my first thought too. Isn't that an old brand of mobile phones? Edit, it's Sony Erickson. He is the leading amateur cryptozoologist in the Northeast and just the nicest guy. My first thought. Ed OLR. Listen my woolly friend, we are going to get you back in the woods and secluded again and no NE. You'd better. Attaboy. Better call Saul. I wouldn't call anyone. I'd post a question on our Bigfoot T asking people who I should call if I find. Hole up. 36. The Hendersons. Shouldn't have had to scroll this far to see this quality answer. The mad ancient aliens cunts. Did you mean cults? The History Channel. Old mate with the funny hair would just say, I'm not saying Bigfoot's an alien. But Bigfoot's. Coyly. No one would just let him go. We don't deserve cool animals. The only correct answer. What good could possibly come from exposing it to humanity? All that would happen is a bunch of backwards hicks going on an unprovoked Bigfoot hunting spree. Ghostbusters. Sorry, I don't think I read that right. WHO you gonna call? Damn, you came first, I'll give you an upvote though. Laughing face. Damn, came to see if someone had already said that. My old boss unironically believes in Bigfoot. It always mystified me because he is so smart and level-headed in every other aspect of his life. Dude created a business in a difficult field of work and kept it going for decades through technological upheavals and economic downturns. But he also owns an imprint of a supposed Bigfoot footprint that he bought at some convention. But anyway, I bet he'd know what to do. I'm a Bigfoot agnostic. I don't believe in it, but I'm definitely open to the idea. Honestly, I would love scientific Bigfoot proof in my lifetime. BC Nat well auto TRL NOE. I don't find belief in Bigfoot that wild. It's not magical or anything. Is basically a North American faith felgal. I mean, since we don't have much evidence of the existence, I find it fun but highly unlikely. But I don't think I'd question someone's judgment or intelligence for thinking it exists. It's not like paranormal shit where you have to reorient what you believe about the world at large. You just have to think Bigfoots are exceptionally sneaky. It is plausible but extremely unlikely. Most likely it is a really enjoyable hobby. I would be worried if he believed in cute flat earth or the 5G stuff. New to Tacoma 12 points 1 day ago, edited 1 day ago. Okay, so I used to think Bigfoot was nonsense. I'd spent a ton of time in the forests of the Rockies and thought there was no way something like that could remain undiscovered so long in this day and age. Then I moved to the PNW, started hanging out in the Cascades, and I definitely believe Bigfoot could be real. The forests here are huge. thick encumbrances that actively attempt to smother and destroy anything that dares enter them. If you go off trail in some of the lesser traveled wilderness areas, it's like an entirely different world. There are plenty of sprawling areas in the forest people just don't go. If there was something out there that didn't want to be found, it'd be pretty easy to do that. I know a few people who live near woods that totally believe here's some other odd unknown coffee C common ALTOB GOLEERR oh mellow LMAs. Something they couldn't see started hurling rocks at them. I'm like, a person could have done that, or maybe they just made it up to have a good story. I have journeyed around the PNW quite a bit, and something like Olympic Forest is so much different than like hiking in the Sierras. You go deep enough in and you start to hear and smell things that you never have before. Tropical bird sounds, for example. And unlike the Sierras, the thick undergrowth means there are large swaths of land you just can't get to without a lot of work. Think fire or machete. But I could see a large animal with thick skin being able to get around in those places with little problem. I'm indifferent on Bigfoot, and I am more scared of running into a brown bear when I'm out there, but I could see something like it being able to hide in the deep, old parts of the forest. It's people like this who make me wonder about the world's secrets. Who do you trust more? Some idiots on the internet that say Bigfoot isn't real? Or your boss who has his footprint? When I was a kid, I loved unsolved mysteries and read a ton of those books. Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, UFOs, etc. Used to eat that stuff up and lay awake at night terrified of aliens. When the internet became more of a thing, I started researching it a little more. It was really disappointing. You see, most books and TV specials really exaggerate how much of a question it is. 95% of all encounters turned out to be either pranks or from super sketchy sources. The other 5% is usually just one person describing something that happened to them. So while I remain open to the belief, I also highly doubt it's true. I wouldn't call anyone, I'd just let them live in peace. Gender inclusive of Bigfoot, super respectful. Sita WLAWIIE. Sorry to break it to you, buddy. My girlfriend, because she doesn't exist either. Wait, Folier. This is one underrated comment info. A foot modeling, foot fetish company, and I'd sell it to them. Sell what? Bigfoot isn't an object, mate. He has feelings too. My mom. Because she is proud of me no matter what I do, and this would be no different. So the first words I would hear would be my mom telling me how proud she is of me, and that's a pretty good way to start this discovery if you ask me. You're absolutely right, mom will be mom. They care so much even if all the world is against us. Lol, that's nice. I'd like to hear that call. Probably ask you if you're hungry too. Mom sandwiches were always the best. Yeah, I also picked this guy's mom. Maybe she would be proud of me. And she's probably the only one who would believe you. Joe Rogan. First thing Joe would do would be shave it to show how insanely muscular it is. And have him bring Alex Jones. He'd just give the Bigfoot DMT. But can it do DMT? I'd call the guy that linked me to this thread. John Lithgow. Ah, beat me to it. The SCP Foundation. As a containment breach of SCP-1000 is potentially very dangerous if not contained. This would immediately call them and leave an anonymous tip. Then I would release him into a city to see how much damage he could cause before they are able to catch him. Don't forget to declare 2319 though. They will come and take care of it. Also, good chance they have a sweet new orange jumpsuit for you. Ryan and Shane from BuzzFeed Unsolved. No one. I'm not a snitch. Me and Bigfoot will be good pals. Bobo, of course. Bobo not so stupid. Absolutely no one. Let the massive bugger live in peace. A primatologist. Dana Scully. Bigfoot would escape right before she arrived though. Mulder would probably show up sooner, wouldn't he? my therapist for a better prescription because my first reaction would be to think I'm hallucinating. ID call the skeptic magician. James Randi. I've caught Bigfoot. Come to so-and-so address and bring my $1 million. I'm afraid it's probably completely unrelated to that prize challenge. Calling Bubbles to let him know I got the dirty cocksucker and to bring the boys in hash. Fucking Sam Squanch. My Mexican homeboy El Chupacabra. They got beef. I don't want to be in the middle. Chupacabra scared the piss out of me as a child. I never heard it was like a hairless dog in folklore. I was always told it was like a demon monkey with wings about 3 feet tall with an aura of confusion and suggestibility. Every one of my childhood friends from this area heard the same description, so I guess the Hispanic community here is unique or weird. George Norrie. Yes, I haven't listened to his show in many years, but one I recall in particular was when a guy called in claiming to have caught an alien. George asked, "What do you do with this alien?" Guy responded, "We just hang out with it." And then George asked, "What do you feed this alien?" Quote, and the guy said they feed it steak. I don't remember the rest, but I will never forget the mental image I had of a guy hanging out in his backyard with an alien in a cage and some steaks on the grill, just hanging out like they're bros. My mom. Then I'd set him free to keep people from hurting him. Les Stroud. Al Gore. He'd know what to do. Guys with a foot fetish. I didn't know you had my number. Bigfoot ain't done shit. I'll have a beer with him and invite him to poker night. No one. I let Bigfoot go. He's his own individual. He can live his life. Tom DeLonge. Scroll too far to see this. The guys from last podcast on the left. They'd just give him a snack and interview him. Scroll too far to see this. Ben Kissel is my vote all the way. They could share many a Bud Light limes together. Hail yourself, friend. Hail Bigfoot. Just don't fucking shoot him. Psychiatrist. Probably no one. Then I'd let him free and I'd happily live with the fact that only I know the truth and no one else. My therapist. Tenacious D. Big Les. What you talking A-beat? Jokes aside, I'd call no one. I don't trust the government with his life and he clearly wants to stay unknown. So I'd take a few pictures and videos to show my friends. Clear HD videos. Then I'd let him go on his way. My nurse friend is taking double samples of everything. Then I'm hiding one set in my secret location and helping other on hand. I need a set for the government to find when they search the place. Then I'll call some local media stations so I get famous before the government takes him away. I'd check his collar. Great Divide Brewery. Peter Kane dog training so he can finally get revenge on the female Bigfoot who forced him to ENS his parents, as he shouldn't be out wandering alone. There are weirdos afoot and I am sure Mrs. and Mr. Foot are worried. In Ku. GMO Ler Lum Lutila M1C Bali 1 or I. ELU. Mmot cum. E0. 0 VAMLNCEO Ola Air. TL Care B. Around. I got your back, buddy. I wouldn't caught him. Human sucks. No one. I would respect his privacy. Nobody. I'd realize that revealing Bigfoot to the world would put him and his environment in danger. I'd stare into his eyes. He'd stare into mine. And we'd come to a mutual understanding and respect. I'd release Bigfoot. Perhaps we'd embrace for a moment. But then we'd go our separate ways. Year later, down at the local bar, I might tell the story of how I caught Bigfoot. Nobody would believe me, and I'd be okay with that. I wouldn't call anyone. Any call is going to get the creature killed or imprisoned for the rest of its life. Maybe take a picture to hand down to future generations, but that's it. Street. Nobody. I'm not a narc. Or Aliato. Why though? Bullshit. My man Dan Aykroyd. My podiatrist. My friend Rajesh who works in a kebab shop. I'd get Ja Rule on the phone. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. Damn it, I was gonna say that at copyright. Disney Studios, I just found the perfect actor for a Chewbacca Disney series. None. I'd let them live in peace from humanity. Someone who can take me to Washington. There are laws in place labeling Bigfoot as a protected species in Washington, and thus keeping him from being hunted. I'm not gonna call anyone. I'm letting it live its life because has nobody never been injured by a Bigfoot. It means it probably is very peaceful. That's all. Nobody. I ain't snitching on fucking Bigfoot. No one. I would let him live on his own. And then I could be one of the few people, or the only one, to know he exists. I'm calling my mother. Probably my bio teacher. He's smart and nice and he would know what to do. No choice here. Gotta let him go. Gotta let him be free to be the forever cool, elusive, badass self he was born to be. The local asylum so they can check me in. If I learn that Bigfoot exists, I would never caught him. Let the big guy keep leaving alone and not be poking at a zoo. No one. Let the beast be. SIEAOEATS eels. Trademark MZ. Contact the BFRO or Bigfoot Research Organization. Even if it's just a sighting, they will send a researcher out to investigate, write up a report and post it online for the public to view. You can see thousands of reports and read witness testimony from around the world on their website. I like to check every once in a while to see reports of new sightings in my area. Les Stroud. TD. Leave a pile of apples on the picnic table. Open the cage door and walk back into the house. No picture, no video, no phone call. Why? Because if anyone belongs in a cage, it's a human. The Native Americans believe Bigfoot is guardian of the wilderness. And I am sorry, but I mean this in the most rude way possible when I say I have far more respect for nature than I do for humans. I have very little respect for the human world. 4. Posted by you, Loving Nature 412 6 days ago at 82.75.7 at this point in 2020. If you looked in the sky tomorrow and saw a big-ass death looking mother, what do you think your first thought would be? NSIW 74.9K. Trevor Noah once said, America is 50 countries masquerading as one. Do you think? CRTCR La CME. TG. OE. What is an adult problem you were not prepared for? 65.0K. Serious. Fans who have been engrossed in a fictional universe so much you could probably earn a degree about it. What plot holes, logical inconsistencies, and the like cannot be reconciled and bother you to no end? 62.4K. Men of Reddit who proposed and she said no. What happened afterwards with your A9? 56.6K. Has anyone ever given nice guy a chance after they've thrown a tantrum because you didn't let them treat you like a queen? And if you did, how did it work? Oh, you have the ability to do absolutely nothing for an extremely long period of time. EEMCNA. Run couch alley alada. 1. Redditors who sort by new. How do you know it's a banger when you see it? You've invented a new alarm clock called the Rude Awakening. What does it do?